A number of interesting new games are expected to come to Nintendo's platform in 2022 and beyond, expanding the lineup of future Switch games. We have Splatoon 3 to Breath of the Wild 2 to look forward to, as well as some of the greatest games on the horizon. More future Switch games were announced at the recent Gamescom opening night live event, so there are plenty of adventures to mark your calendars for. But before we get into it, do me a favor and smash the like, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button for notifications whenever a new video is published. Splatoon 3. The return of the Mammalians story mode in Splatoon 3 alludes to the appearance of other mammals than Judd and Lil Judd. Octarians are back as the main antagonists, but most of them now have mutant brown fur and purple eyes. However, others, like DJ Octavio, still have their former looks. The story is set in Alterna, a brand new place with a lot of snow, incomplete buildings, and dangerous fuzzy ooze. A gloomy, mirrored city, a neon-lit environment with traditional Japanese objects floating in the background, a rocket ship, a portable research facility, where Callie, Marie, Craig Cuttlefish, and the captain emerge, and other locations are also included. 8 players are split into 2 teams of 4 in the online multiplayer Ink Battles of Splatoon 3, a third-person shooter game. Players can change between their humanoid form, in which they can use weapons to spread ink and splat opponents, and their swim form, which has an octopus or squid appearance. If they enter their team's ink while in this form, they can swim through it at a faster rate, up walls, and recharge their ink tank more quickly, as well as hide from enemies. Players can use new mobility strategies to deflect attacks and increase their attack choices. Xenoblade Chronicles. Action role-playing game in the Xenoblade Chronicles series are created by Monolith Soft and released by Nintendo. It is a part of Tetsuya Takahashi's Xeno meta-series, however it was developed after Nintendo bought Monolith Soft in 2007. The first game in the series, Xenoblade Chronicles, was released for the Nintendo Wii in 2010 and quickly became a commercial and critical success. Xenoblade Chronicles garnered positive reviews for its world creation, music, and storylines. Tetsuya Takahashi thinks that the Xenoblade Chronicles series is defined by the player's desire to stay in the game environment, even though the stories and characters change with each game. These games' fundamental idea is to keep players fully engaged in these worlds while letting them freely explore. The Xenoblade Chronicles games include a real-time action-based battle system in which the player controls a character in real time while party members auto-attack when enemies within their attack radius. Manually input attacks, known as arts, may also be done. Battle arts are only accessible during a cooldown period that follows each use, whereas character-specific talent arts are only accessible following a certain number of auto-attacks. The player's character loses all of their HP and is unable to be revived. The game is lost, but combat is won when all enemies loses their HP. Outside of battles, each character's art needs to be set by the player on their individual setup, termed a battle palette. Nintendo Switch Sports. Nintendo developed and released Nintendo Switch Sports, a video game that simulates sports for the console. Despite not having Wii in its title, it is the most recent game in the Wii series and the 4th in the Wii Sports subseries. The game was launched on April 29, 2022, and reviews from critics were complicated. As of June 30, 2022, Nintendo Switch Sports had sold over 4.8 million copies, making it one of the console's best-selling games. The setting of Nintendo Switch Sports is a made-up multi-sport complex called Spacco Square, which has 3 sports from previous games: tennis, bowling, and Kambara, as well as 3 brand new sports: soccer, volleyball, and badminton. Avatars known as Sportsmates have been included in addition to Mii's, and they have detailed faces, arms, and legs. Additionally, the leg strap accessory from Ring Fit Adventure will be included in the physical version of the game and may be used in football. The leg strap will initially only function in football shootout mode. You can use the leg strap for football matches as of the summer update, which debuted in July 2022. The game offers local multiplayer on the same system as well as internet multiplayer. Online gaming enables friend play and chance matchmaking. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. A 2022 platform video game called Kirby and the Forgotten Land was created by HAL Laboratory and released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. It is the 13th mainline Kirby game and, aside from spin-offs, the first game in the series to include full 3D. In order to rescue Waddle Dees, who has been abducted by the Vicious Beast pack, the player takes control of Kirby in an adventure through the mythical lost city known as the New World. Kirby may use a variety of copy skills to fight enemies and advance through each stage to save the Waddle Dees. The game garnered favorable reviews from critics, some of whom listed it among the greatest in the franchise. In just 2 weeks, 2.1 million copies were sold. The second best-selling game in the series, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, having sold over 4.5 million copies globally to date. The player controls Kirby through a variety of different stages in Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the first platform game in the series with fully 3D gameplay, with the goal of ultimately saving the Waddle Dees. As in most Kirby games, Kirby is able to jump, slide, inhale objects and enemies, and then either spit them out as projectiles or ingest them to obtain the power to copy them. In the shape of Drill and Ranger, 2 new copy skills, an upgrade system for copy abilities, and a new mouthful mode where Kirby can swallow and control bigger objects like vehicles and vending machines, and other objects featured in this game. Mario Strikers Battle League. For the Nintendo Switch, there is a game called Mario Strikers Battle League. With new equipment, items, and moves, it is the third game in the Mario Strikers series and the first one since Mario Strikers Charged, which came out more than 15 years ago. The game's multiplayer mode accommodates up to 8 players. In the game's online Strikers Club mode, players can host clubs of up to 20 players and compete with other clubs to obtain points and move up the rankings. On June 10, 2022, the game became available in all countries and is scheduled to have 3 free post-launch updates before the year is over, which will add additional playable characters, stadiums, and gear sets. Similar to previous Mario Strikers games, the gameplay involves 2 teams of 5 players, 4 players plus a goalie, attempting to score goals into the opponent's goal in order to earn points. According to Street Soccer regulations, there are no penalties for fouls, therefore players are free to tackle their opponents anywhere on the pitch. Like in earlier games, players can alter the course of gameplay by using goods and special moves. When playing offensively, players concentrate on getting the ball to the goal by passing or lobbing it to their colleagues and working in combos to create strong shots. Players will use multiple techniques, such as items and tackles, when playing defensively to recover the ball. Timing is crucial for the best in-game performance because some moves, like free passes, charged shots, and tackling, have meters that show when they are at their most potent. Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. The Nintendo Switch version of Pokémon Scarlet and Violet will release in November 18, 2022. The 2 new adventures bring in a new era for Game Freak's historic RPG franchise by immersing players in a vast open environment for the first time. With that modification, Pokémon Scarlet and Violet will undergo significant adjustments. 3 distinct stories, full 4-player co-op, and new ways to both explore the area around you and engage with the Pokémon that call it home are all part of Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. Now that we're starting to learn more about the game, we now know more about the Pokémon Scarlet and Violet starters and the legendary Pokémon that will be released in Generation 9. The Fire-type Croagfuococo, the Water-type Duckling Quaxley, and the Grass-type cat Sprigatito are the Pokémon Scarlet and Violet starters. IIS believe that Fuecoco, the small crocodile, is calm and deliberate while the Grass Kitty is erratic and the baby duckling is sincere and orderly. Paldea is the name of the new Pokémon Scarlet and Violet setting, according to the Pokémon Company. Both versions of the game use that name to refer to the large area whose architecture is greatly influenced by Spanish towns and cities. The Pokémon Scarlet Violet Paldea region is said to be one of the most diverse Pokémon worlds yet, complete with vast open spaces dotted with lakes, towering peaks, wastelands, and mountain ranges. Have you played the games mentioned? How was it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Before leaving, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications on our future content. With that being said, see you in the next one.